In Renaissance Italy, a powerful family rose to dominate the Catholic Church, combining religion, politics, and scandal in ways few had ever imagined. Meet the Borgias, a pope who openly promoted his children, a son admired by Machiavelli himself, and a daughter whose reputation inspired centuries of gossip. But how much of their dark legend is historical truth? And how much is sensational fiction? To understand the Borgias, first picture Rome in the late 15th century. Not simply a holy city of faith and pilgrimage, but the political heart of Renaissance Europe. At this time, the Catholic Church was as much a political powerhouse as it was a spiritual authority, with popes behaving more like secular princes, controlling armies, territories, and dynasties than humble spiritual leaders. Corruption wasn't just common, it was institutionalized. The cardinals openly bought their offices, the papacy was treated as a prize, and church offices were powerful tools of influence, wealth, and patronage. This was the fertile ground upon which Rodrigo Borgia rose. Born Rodrigo Borgia in Spain, his ambition carried him quickly upward, becoming a cardinal through wealth and political maneuvering. In 1492, amid lavish bribes and strategic alliances, Rodrigo emerged from the papal conclave as Pope Alexander VI. From the start, his papacy was marked by scandal. He openly favored his illegitimate children, particularly Cesare and Lucrezia, granting them titles, lands, and influence unprecedented for papal offspring. Financial corruption was rampant, and simony, selling church offices and rolls, was practically his trademark. Yet historians caution that some of Alexander's alleged murders and poisonings were likely fabricated or exaggerated by his rivals. Cesare Borgia, Rodrigo's most famous son, became notorious for his ruthless political cunning. Originally a cardinal, despite a clear lack of religious devotion, Cesare cast aside church robes to command armies instead, securing vast territories in central Italy. Machiavelli himself admired Cesare's skill, making him a model for his book The Prince. Cesare was undeniably brutal, executing rivals and quelling rebellions without mercy. Yet popular portrayals often exaggerate him into a cartoonish villain. His ruthlessness was typical of Renaissance rulers, driven more by practical politics than a taste for cruelty. Then there's Lucrezia Borgia, the most unfairly maligned family member. Married 3 times, all strategic political unions arranged by her father and brother, Lucrezia was portrayed by enemies as a master poisoner and even accused of incest. Modern historians now largely dismiss these accusations, pointing out they originated from malicious gossip and political enemies seeking to discredit the Borgias. Later in life, as Duchess of Ferrara, Lucrezia actually became renowned for her intelligence, patronage of the arts, and capable administration, not exactly the femme fatale of legend. So, why do these lurid stories persist? The Borgia reputation was deliberately tarnished by their political rivals, particularly by powerful Italian families who resented their Spanish origins and rapid rise. Later, Protestant reformers eagerly amplified tales of papal immorality, using the Borgias as symbols of Catholic corruption. Pamphlets, scandal sheets, and satirical poems circulated wildly exaggerated accounts of poisoning orgies and incestuous intrigues. Over generations, these stories hardened into historical myth, reinforced by romanticized novels and dramas that favored sensationalism over accuracy. Yet beneath the sensational stories lies an important historical truth. The corruption and political games of the church hierarchy weren't just scandalous. They helped create the conditions that sparked the Protestant Reformation. Figures like Martin Luther rose directly in reaction to such excesses and abuses. In many ways, the Borgia papacy symbolized everything that reformers opposed: unchecked wealth, political ambition, and secular power overshadowing genuine spirituality. In the end, the Borgias were ambitious, ruthless, and certainly corrupt. But history reveals them less as monstrous villains and more as products and symbols of their politically charged, deeply corrupt era. Their exaggerated legend speaks volumes about Renaissance politics, the power of propaganda, and our endless fascination with scandal. Perhaps the Borgias' greatest crime was embodying their era's contradictions. A church caught between faith and ambition, piety and politics, tensions still echoing in history today.